Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be covering a tragic story that happened a couple of years ago, and this story revolves around. Sadly, it revolves around a fatal DUI accident. Before I start talking about this story, I just have to say, anybody who drinks and drives and gets hurt, I have no sympathy for you. I have no compassion for you. Driving is the most dangerous everyday activity that human beings do, and a lot of people die in car accidents um, just based off of making a simple judgment error, uh, error of judgment, excuse me, in regards to operating their cars. And the last thing people need is drunk drivers or people that are inebriated or intoxicated in any way, shape, or form being out there on the road and putting other people's lives in danger. It's probably one of the more selfish acts any human being could do, and it's just it's one of the reasons why I don't drink. Because number one, if I'm going to do something stupid, I want to have all my senses within me, and two, I don't want to do something stupid and end up hurting somebody else. Like I'll live with with doing something that harms me, but when it harms somebody else, that's something I won't. I don't think I can forgive myself for, especially if it's one as serious as his story. So, you see on your screen, ex Las Vegas Raider NFL receiver Henry Ruggs sentenced to 3+ years in prison for fatal DUI crash in Nevada. Now, if you don't know what 3+ years means, his sentence was at minimum 3 years. His maximum punishment is 10, but there is a possibility that he could um, get out before the full 10 years is served. This is reported by Ken Ritter of the Associated Press News. As you can see here, one former Las Vegas NFL football player Henry Ruggs stands in courtroom during his sentencing at Regional Justice Center Wednesday, August 9th, which was yesterday, 2023 in Las Vegas. Ruggs pled guilty in May to felony DUI, causing death and misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter. Um, this is the woman who died because her and her dog, which looks like a golden retriever, were sitting in the car when Henry Ruggs crashed into him because he was drunk and was inside to get behind the wheel of a car. Her name is Tina Tinter, which is what you see on the screen. Her and her dog, they didn't put the name of the dog there. I guess it doesn't matter. Is displayed at a makeshift memorial site to honor them at South Rainbow Boulevard and Spring Valley Parkway on Thursday, November 4th, 2021. So this is the young lady and her dog who died. This young lady was only 23 years old at the time of the death. So at the time of her death, so had she still been alive today, she would only be a couple of years older than me. That's the car, the Chevrolet Corvette, shown at the scene of a fatal car crash of South Rainbow Boulevard and between Tropicana Avenue and Flamingo Road in Las Vegas. Showing another. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I click on another photo? That's him being handcuffed and being taken into custody. This is him. A greater view of that. That's Mr. Ruggs right there. You know, and and this I don't feel sorry for Henry at all. He had the opportunity of a lifetime playing in the NFL, had an opportunity to make a bunch of money and have a long career because the guy was very very talented. I'm saying was as in he. I'm not saying was as in because he passed. I'm saying was because he's not in the NFL. The man had all the talent in the world, had Olympic level speed. Like when you talk about the fastest players that you see in today's NFL, he was up there. He might have even been able to keep up with Tyreek Hill. So yeah, he threw all that away by being stupid and being selfish by driving drunk. That's him with his defense attorneys. But we're just gonna read the article now. Uh, he was sentenced to at least 3 years in Nevada prison for killing a woman in a fiery crash while driving his sports car drunk. Speeds up to 156 miles per hour on a city street nearly 2 years ago. Yeah, that's how fast he was driving, 156 miles per hour. I sincerely apologize, the former first round NFL draft pick said as he stood sentencing in Las Vegas after pleading guilty in May due to felony DUI causing death and misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter, a charge carrying a 6 month jail sentence that will be folded in with his 3 to 10 year prison term. He was cut by the Raiders while still hospitalized following the pre-dawn crash on November 2nd of 2021. The collision killed Tina Tinter and her dog Max. Okay, so there's the dog's name, and injured her Ruggs' passenger. Oh, okay, his passenger, who was his girlfriend. Oh, I'm sorry. At the time was his girlfriend. She became his fiance and the mother of their daughter. So he won't see his daughter for the next, at minimum, the next 3 years, maybe in up to as far as 10. But I'm going to talk about his punishment later on in the video. I have no excuses, Rugg says, citing the pain the case caused his family, teammates, and Team Tour's family. Rugg said that after prison, he tends to counsel others about the dangers of driving at unsafe speed and drinking and driving. In a statement read in court by Tintor's cousin, David Strabach, I hope that's his name, Tintor's mother, Mariana Komashek, offered grief, grace, and memories of what it was like to hug and embrace knowing we will never be able to kiss her on the forehead or tell her how much we love her and how absolutely proud we are proud of her we are. We pray that Henry Ruggs is blessed with the opportunity to be able to watch his beautiful daughter grow into the amazing woman that she can be, and we pray that this terrible accident inspires positive change in the world. We pray that we all take away the importance of looking out for one another, remembering everyone we meet is another human's loved one. Kilgore Washington and a group of friends and supporters watched as Ruggs, wearing a dark suit, white shirt and blue tie, was handcuffed by a court officer when Clark County District Court Judge Jennifer Schwartz read the sentence. Ruggs was then led away. Ruggs had remained free on house arrest shortly after the crash. In court filings ahead of the sentencing, Ruggs' attorneys David Chesnoff and Richard Schoenfield included letters from high school administrators and teachers in Montgomery, Alabama, who praised Ruggs and a testimonial Democratic state, I'm guessing Representative Philip Ensler. Mr. Ruggs is a man of good character who made a terrible mistake, the attorney said in the pre-sentencing memorandum. His remorse is deep and sincere. Well, with all due respect, it's not bringing that girl and her dog back. His plea deal avoided a trial that Clark County District's Attorney Steve Wolfenson said posed obstacles for conviction because Ruggs was not administered a field sobriety test following the crash, and his defense attorneys argued that Ruggs' blood alcohol limit was improperly obtained at the hospital. Well, I'm not sure how they can argue that that he wasn't fielded a sobriety test. I mean, the guy crashed into somebody, so I mean, maybe that wasn't the right time to give him a field sobriety test because he had already been in a car accident, and maybe causing him to do certain things during the field sobriety test maybe could have possibly put him in harm's way, which I think is why the officers avoided doing that. But that's just my take on it. Wolfenson, a Democrat. Why does that even matter if this person's a Democrat or not? Said the blood test provided virtually the only proof that Ruggs was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the crash. It revealed that Ruggs had a blood alcohol level of 0.16, which is twice the legal limit in Nevada, after the rear end wreck ignited a fire in Tintor's Toyota RAV4. His passenger, Kilgore Washington, was also injured in Ruggs' demolished 2020 Chevrolet Corvette. Prosecutors said Ruggs suffered a leg injury and Kilgore Washington received an arm injury. Kilgore Washington was not cooperative with prosecutors as a victim in this case. Well, that's because she's his fiance, so it's almost as if she's turning her back on him. Wolfson had said Ruggs would face a mandatory minimum of 2 years in prison if convicted, and could get more than 50 years. The district attorney said investigators learned that Ruggs spent several hours drinking with friends at a sports entertainment site and golfing venue, and may have been at a friend's home for several more hours before he and Kilgore Washington headed home. Now, if that is true, then his friends are absolutely stupid for not realizing that Henry Ruggs was drunk and not taking his car keys from him and forcing him to stay at their house. If you are out drinking with friends, there needs to be a designated driver so that way everybody can get home safely. And if you're going to be driving there, you need to take that into account before you decide to head out. Like, hey, listen, we're going to hang out at this golf thing or whatever, this golfing venue, this sport entertainment site. If we're going to drink, we need at least one person. We need at least one person sober to be the designated driver so that way everybody can get home safely. Like, so that was irresponsibility on Henry. Well, not as irresponsible as Henry, but the friends do bear some irresponsibility in this as well. Tintor was a Serbian immigrant whose friends and family members had said graduated from a Las Vegas high school, worked at a Target store, wanted to become a computer programmer, and was close to obtaining her U.S. citizenship. The family statement called Max her best friend, which was the dog that you saw earlier. Uh, Sorry about that. Let me pause this right here. The census isn't going to bring Tina back. Farhan Naqvi, an attorney represented Tintor's family, said outside the courtroom, "What we're hoping for more than anything is that other deaths can be prevented by driving from driving under the influence and reckless driving. It ruins lives, it destroys families," which they're absolutely correct. So I don't feel sorry for this guy. I mean, too many people die in car accidents without drinking and driving anyway, and because of what he did, he took away this young woman and her dog, and the family will never get to see this young lady again. And I said it before, and quite frankly, if I was a judge, if I had the power to, any person who drives drunk and kills somebody or injures another human being, like in this case with Henry Ruggs, or in the case of this former WWE wrestler named Tammy Cinch, other known as Sonny, who crashed into an older man, because he was driving drunk and ended up killing the old man. Any drunk driver who kills somebody in a car accident, quite frankly, if I was the judge, if I had the power, I would give you 15 years minimum in jail, maximum 25, because there needs to be harsher punishes for people out here who drive drunk. And I think that's the reason why people keep doing it, is because there's not enough consequences to prevent them from doing that. And that's just sad. And quite frankly, if I was part of the Tintor family, when this dude gets out, whatever, I would sue him for a wrongful death, for a wrongful death cause, because what he did took away the lives of a dog and that family's loved one. And it's just a sad story. Rest in peace to the young woman who lost her life. Condolences to the family. And Henry Ruggs, you get no sympathy from me.